Newsworthy events to the ageing populace. Affording anonymity to the listener. Whistleblowers, earthquakes and harsh regimes, punctuating the changing seasonal light. A whistling kettle on a random TV show casts me back to a greying grandmother, cosy mahogany kitchenette and a ticking clock. Then back. A child and a sterile funeral home. The requiem of a card striking, meeting the floor in the hallway. A luminescent greeting, an aspiration, a journey's end, a reminder. Mundanity speaking the loudest words, calling forth everyday eventualities, familiar strangers whispering, it's a process. As inside I screamed the unanswered, why? Enlarged through the window pane, a spiraling leaf, brown, apathetic as the mother tree looks on, an upwind, prolonging the inevitable. Then a journey's end, a reminder. Falling trees or blooming trees, a reminder. Grey skies or bright sunshine, a reminder. Sickly infants or childhood larks, a reminder. Falling asleep or suddenly awakening, a reminder.
Bray. You know, we used to love it out here. We'd come here regularly. Kids would ask me and him if it was a sunny day, are we going to Bray? Hard enough to stop myself getting angry when the requests become incessant. In fairness, he was as eager to go as the kids, so that was it, we were going. Now I'd do anything to be bothered by any request. I'd sell the world and buy Bray if only he was here right now. That day. The only day that seems important now. 11:34 a.m. The last time I put a key in the door, unafraid of what lay behind. Firstly, a sensation. Unrecognisable at first. Psychic representation, or maybe just hindsight now calling the shots. I haven't quite figured it out and I haven't the energy to try now. That day, 11:34 a.m. Firstly a sensation, then a shadow. Eerie, but familiar. Familiar, but different. Then a quickening pulse, a shortness of breath, loss of power to the legs. Then a quicker pulse, lungs expelling the previous breath without replacing itself. Legs failing, lungs failing, screaming, silent, but earth-shattering. That day. 11:34 a.m. The last day of my previous life. We had a car, but we always liked getting the train. That was part of it, the trip to town. Concentration of smells that differ from the suburbs. Getting the dart to Tara Street, ears pricked, listening out for the first rattles of the track to signify the oncoming train. The jostle for a place to be first on board, then Bray. All the groups with their own stories. Cornucopia, hopes, embracing happiness for that one day at least. He had a childlike glint in his eye, and I suppose if he was here telling our story now, he'd say the same about me. Burning feet, carrying the kids above my shoulders over the large hot stones and then over the small sharp stones till we reached a small strip of sand that borders the sea. A throw in the air, a scream, a catch, again, they'd shout. Buckets, spades, sandcastles, pipe come out. beach ball, armbands, go for a swim. 2 minutes in the water. Look around to see if anyone's watching. I see you sitting down. Are you having a wee? Dry off. Towel between the toes for the sands. Wibbly wobbly wonder from the ice cream shop. We'd eat the jelly first. Sometimes we went up to the cross and back down. We'd have chips for tea, the amusements. Bet on the plastic horses. Then go on the ghost train and waltzers. Train home. Kids asleep under my arms. Within a few years, they were too big for our shoulders, so we switched to jockey back. Then too big for jockey back, so we raced tiptoe to the water's edge. Then too big to be seen with our parents. The end of the trips to Bray. But that's normal, isn't it? We'd come alone then, me and him. Walk hand in hand along the water's edge with our trousers rolled up and our shoes in our hands. All the guilt I've placed on myself just for being the one who's still alive. Is it handing down a life sentence? I suspect so. A prison I've decided to hold myself in with no parole date, no chance for escape. Familiar strangers whispering. It's a process? As inside I screamed the unanswered why? Kids have moved on now and are creating their own new memories and making sense of their own new world. And I'm trying to make sense of my new world by coming here alone, because I'm afraid I might come up in front of others. It's calling now, walking these steps as we did, hoping that following past footsteps could somehow rekindle and revive those memories, and therefore relive them. Anything for one moment, one touch, one frown, one smile, imagined or not.